for a rematch in MMA, would he be up for it? Would you be up for that as well? Yeah.
Absolutely, never, ever, ever.
No chance.
I mean, no. As if Tyson Fury is going to get in a cage with Francis Ngannou. I mean,
what do you think his thought process is when he say, yeah, he's up for it? He said he's up for it, but it's not happening.
Because it's got you talking. That's why.
Then he just got match last week where he saw Bitavier clubs up against your man Calvin Smith. Turkey Al Sheikh says that's going to happen now against Dimitri Bivol, also one of your fighters in June. So how do you see Bitavier close up this weekend? We know how good Bivol is. How do you see that one fight?
Yeah, he's a serious dude. I mean, it's a 50-50 fight, you know. Obviously, we backed Dimitri in that fight. We've already done our deal with His Excellency for that fight. We've signed. So it's now over to Bitavier and for His Excellency to put the date together. And again, you know, another example of one of the biggest fights in boxing delivered in Saudi Arabia.
What's better for Callum, by the way? Obviously, that's his point setback. He talks about how key activity's been for Joshua. Callum's obviously not been very active at all, so is it just a case of getting him out?
You know, he was very down after the fight because he wanted to be the best light heavyweight in the world. He showed he wasn't. And I think if he's not the best light heavyweight in the world, what does he want to achieve? You know, so there is a lot of big domestic fights out there for him. You know, we talked about the yard fight on the Matchroom Queensbury card, but is that going to get him motivated? He's going to see, you know, a few weeks now, a couple of months to lick his wounds and see if he wants to come back. And if he didn't, he's achieved a huge amount in sport. He's won British, European, World, Ring Magazine Championship. So, you know, he could quite easily bow out.
Is it possible or
no?
And just, will we likely see Jai versus Brainers on the rematch card?
Yes, I believe there'll be an official announcement soon, but he's going to get excited about that. Yeah, I think, you know, Tony's a very emotional guy. He wanted Callum Smith to win. You know, I've got a lot of criticism myself about comments. When I said about it's like he's not human, I'm not talking about through taking performance enhancing drugs. I'm saying this guy fights like he is not human. He was not breathing in that fight. Like when people say he's not getting better, he's always been like that. He's 39 years old, and you've got a 39-year-old who's got elevated levels of HGH and testosterone. This guy's not normal. And I don't, you know, I'm not saying that he cheated. We just wanted answers from VADA. So I'm sure he's clean. It wasn't an adverse finding. I don't know what else you want me to say. But in terms of his performance, when I say he's not human, a guy that is not breathing, a guy that cannot be hurt, a guy that continues to walk you down and throw punches that just beat you up, is a very tough challenge, and he's an outstanding fighter.
I know that you got them all.
No, we didn't get any answers.
They said they tested more after.
They didn't test more, they just continued to test. So what they should have done was do more tests on that sample to give us the reasons why. He had obviously the elevated levels, and then 4 days later they were back normal again. I don't know, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not a scientist, but if any promoter or person who represented the fight didn't ask those questions, they'd be mad. It's not an accusation to ask effectively, it's just to understand why that would happen.
Are you working with Body? Obviously, it has been tested, I'm assuming, after that fight. Are you still working with them to get more information on the spike in?
No, I'm going to write to them and ask again. But look, they're an outstanding agency. I think we're their biggest clients. The question that I would pose is, from those elevated levels, can you categorically confirm that that occurred naturally, not through ingestion? Yes or no?
Has he talked sports with tennis?
No, we're in chats with Boots Ennis, as everybody is. He's a tremendous fighter. I think he's going to be in a great position at 147 pounds. We're talking to 5 or 6 big names at the moment about bringing them to the team, but we shall see.
As you talk sports here, when we saw Fury's performance against Ngannou, how much of that do you think is Fury performing badly and Ngannou being a lot better and the top heavyweight contender?
I think it's difficult to go into a fight with someone that you have no idea what they're going to do, how they're going to shape up, how they're going to throw a jab, you know, little tells, everything. So it's difficult in that respect. I think Fury looked not scared, but obviously he had a fight already signed and he felt the power and he didn't want to engage. Is he at the end of the road? Is he slowing down? Is his punch resistance going? We'll find out on February 17th. But I think you have to give credit to Francis Ngannou because he got in there and did it.
And it's also been announced that Joseph Parker versus Zilles Ange on the undercard as well. So we've got Joshua and Ngannou, obviously massive fight because both of them are from West African heritage. Obviously, it's in the Middle East. You know, Zile Zhang's a massive draw in China. Do you think we could be seeing possibly record-breaking numbers here?
Yeah, I mean, last show did great numbers. This is going to do even bigger numbers. You've also got Fury Usyk. You're bringing all the big heavyweights from around the world. We've also got Justice Huni on the card, a great Australian prospect. Other heavyweights, Moses Itumu, great young prospect as well. So it's great to see the heavyweight division moving and finally getting the fights that we want to see.
I like to give this opportunity to the funky father. Yeah, we did my first fight. I don't know if you know me.
What's your name?
Donovan Smiley.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I boxed on the Nazim Ahmed and Paul Ingle. Okay. Gave me first fight. I was never supposed to be on the show.
Good.
They put me on, and I was successful. So
Actually, I wasn't even supposed to fight.
not supposed to fight.
Jack Chicken tricked him.
Really, Jack
He
Chicken?
turned
Right,
up.
Jack Chicken. Quality.
Then your dad turned on.
Yeah, thank you very much. I
no worries,
appreciate that.
no worries.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. No problem at all. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times.
On the fence. I'm on the fence.
We don't need to talk about
Left hook from Yaounde came and landed on him, so